Alrighty, so I'm going to do a pre-video to a video. I know you've seen me do this in this class. So the video below is the one that gives you this instruction for how to complete this assignment. But one thing about this is because I've had this a couple of semesters, I've seen some common pain points for students. So I want to give you what those are. First, you're going to use a new app we haven't used before called Google Draw. And so just like anything else, make sure when you create these drawings that you place them into the shared with Rio, because otherwise when you link them into your classwork, I won't be able to see them. Okay, so here are the two items that you're going to need to create. First is the drawing, which is of your home network or your network, because I have had a few students who their primary network is just their phone, and they'll need to figure out a way to do some of the requirements that I'll go over. But for the most part, the other thing, and let me just show you, this link is right here. So this is a drawing, again, a new doc, right? So when you create a new drawing, just make sure you put it into that area. And then you can go in here and see, and then again, I show you in the video how to do this, right? So this is like the number one way I'd like to see students do this work, which is really to be able to compare their Wi-Fi speeds to what we refer to as wired. And this indicates a hard wire, right? So not all students have these, which, by the way, you actually should have around one of these cables. And let me just show you what it looks like. It's an unshielded twisted pair cable. You can get them pretty much anywhere, but if you really want to get one, I will give you one. I will have a box of them in my office if you want to come get one. Just give me the heads up that you are so that I can get some brought over. But coming back here, the reason I like you to do this where you compare your Wi-Fi speeds to your wired speed is most people have no idea the difference. And most people don't realize how much they're losing in speed by being wireless, which is, I know, so convenient. But there are times when I want to be able to connect directly into my device or into my router. And this is, again, I'm drawing, I walk you through in the video how to make this drawing. So if for some reason on your network you can't get a wired connection, then figure out something else to compare, maybe a computer Wi-Fi speed. And here's some of the suggestions I've given in the past. You could compare your Wi-Fi speed with a friend's Wi-Fi speed to see the difference. You could also compare maybe your Wi-Fi speed as you're close to the device versus being at the edge of your house, or tell me how many feet. But these are the important parts of this, is first drawing this. And again, the video will show you that. And the reason I like also doing Wi-Fi speed on my phone versus cellular speed is just another way to compare. Okay, so why do you need this? Because the other part of this assignment is actually called What's Important, and it's a Google Sheet that this is very easy. How much time, how important is the internet to you? For me, it's practically everything these days, although I would actually say this has changed since I did this. I actually would say this is now here because my coding that I do, I can do without the internet. It's just there's so many times I do jump on, but I don't have to. So, do that for yourself. But here's the big one that I'm leading up to, which is for me, I compared my laptop to my phone, a comparison, right? So on the laptop, I compared versus wireless speeds. I compared on my phone wireless speed versus cellular speed, right? So I should actually call this Wi-Fi speed. So what my Wi-Fi speed is compared to my cellular speed. So if yours needs to do something different, then you would be comparing maybe your laptop speed wired versus wireless of a friend's house, right? And on your phone, maybe, and this one seems a little more doable because on your phone doing a Wi-Fi versus cellular speed. Now here's the thing, many students don't do the calculation. Now, I've actually given you the formula in this sheet to show you how. You just have to lay it out the way I have, right? So you can look at my formula and see how I've calculated this. So I can say that my wireless is 60% slower than my wired. I can say that my cellular speed is 75% slower than my Wi-Fi speed on my phone, right? And that's where these come in, right? And all this is just writing in, common English what we've figured out as far as calculation goes. Now, and each one of these needs to be linked to show how you actually captured that, either on your phone or in the computer, right? And then I've also done IP addresses, and I want to see, right, an IP of an internal network and then your external network. And that's part of the other reason this assignment is so important, is understanding that, inside of your network you have a private IP, and outside what the internet sees is your public facing IP. Now, there are a few students again that don't have this based on their network, but most of you do, right? And the other thing is that IP addresses now, because we're moving to IP6, actually may look a little different. They may not look like this 192.168. They may just be a really long number, and that's okay if they are. Don't worry about that. Okay. So again, this is my network. Your network is going to look like your network because it's reflecting that. But here's an example for you to follow, and here's the calculations I want to see you do. And so in your work, again, this video is going to walk you through how to do this. Do know if you want to come get a cable from me, just give me a heads up. But if you don't want to come get a cable and you don't have one, then come up with some way to compare maybe your laptop with your phone, right? And there's various ways you could do that, but at least some kind of comparison, because that's something that I find really important, is many people don't understand, these comparisons of speed and location and type, and it just gives you a lot of insight. So I hope you have fun with this. Many students tell me afterwards they really learned a lot from doing this assignment. I hope you do as well. So have a great one. And again, this is just your pre-video to help you get this assignment done, but this video will really walk you through it. I'm not going to require notes. All I want to see is your output here, making sure you've placed them into the shared with Rio so that I can see them. Have a great one. Bye.